Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So a while ago, I beat a max mode called My Time in a game named Headspace Emissary, created by the ever wonderful Matt Wolkowski. This challenge took 3 weeks to complete, with 1 week to beat the all max mode Headspace Emissary, and then another 2 to take on the actual max mode. My Time pushed my wrist to its limits, and really pressed me at points with maintaining consistency and willpower. Now after completing My Time, I won't lie, as much as I love this game and think it's lovely, I was pretty ready to give it a break and never reattempt the max mode. Simply put, my wrist was sore and the burnout was pretty bad. So in today's video, I'm going to put myself through that painful experience all over again, and this time, make it even worse. Now, after listening to this introduction, you might be expecting me to say we're going to be rebeating My Time, but frankly, I don't wanna. So you might be asking yourself, Mr. Opossum, how are you going to do that if you don't want to replay My Time? Well, you see, something I never covered in the main video of this game is the fact that you have an option to uncap the limits and raise the AI as much as you want. The only time the game uses this feature naturally is in its rogue mode. In this mode, the game naturally raises the enemy AI between nights whilst also allowing you to add new characters and challenges. Using the uncapped limits, we can ramp the game's normal mode up even higher than it's typically allowed, effectively creating a new all-max challenge by raising the level of Headspace Emissary's AI difficulty. Now, I've always liked seeing where I can place on leaderboards, and more specifically when it comes to max modes, what number victor I am. According to what I know, I'm roughly the 50th or 51st victor of My Time, and I don't even know what it comes to when we're talking about Headspace Emissary. I'm also somewhere in the roughly 100 to maybe 110 or so range for 35-20 from what I know. Now that's cool and all, but I wanted to try and make a name for myself somehow. That segue in the FNaF All Modes list, or AML for short, the semi-distant twice-removed cousin of the max mode list. While the MML is far more concise and has stricter rules around what can and can't be placed, the AML, as the name might suggest, allows for all sorts of modes to be placed, including pre-patches, mods, demos, and much more. Among these allowed modes is uncapped difficulties, which is where I found the Headspace Emissary at 25 AI, verified by Strike. Cool dude, go watch him. It was here I entered a rabbit hole and discovered that Strike had actually verified as far as 27 AI on the Headspace Emissary, a massive achievement from which he, from what I could gather based on a singular comment, potentially considered to be the possible limit of how far you could push the mode, or at least as far as he was willing to take it. After seeing this, I thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool to try and do something like that too? Maybe I could even go above it for a world first and truly get my name as a number 1 on a fancy leaderboard for internet points. And so, having found that 27 AI was the highest verified mode, at least to my knowledge, I set my eyes on becoming the first victor of 28 AI. To kick things off, I sat down at my desk and booted up Headspace Emissary again. By now, I'd done the mode about 3 or 4 times over already, but for the sake of formalities, topped it once more. Honestly, after beating My Time, it's kind of free. Only took 1 fail to get a winning run afterwards, so yeah, nothing really to say about it. And with that said and done, we moved on to the actual first milestone of the challenge, 23 AI. This time, I did absolutely no build-up and went straight into the max mode, hoping that it wouldn't be that bad. This tactic, well, it actually paid off. 23 AI only took me about 45 minutes or so to beat on the first night of playing. It was faster, sure, noticeably so, and required me to take a bit of time to adjust, but honestly, all things considered, it's fine. However, I knew that things were going to be downhill from here, so I quickly moved on to tackling the next milestone, 25 AI, after beating 23. All in all, 45 minutes for 23, it's not that bad. Now, 2 AI levels. Wow, that's not a lot, right? I mean, I already went up by 3 and the jump was decent, but not very big, so perhaps 25 mode wouldn't be that bad, right? Yeah, nah. 2 AI levels can really make a difference in this game, and this is the first part where you really feel it. Off the bat, this mode gave me a much bigger headache, and suffice to say, I did not complete it in the night I started it. To explain the difference in speed, we're going to take the cycle I made in my main video about this game, which operates on roughly 75 to 90 second loops depending on how fast you are. Now, on Headspace Emissary, by default, Hero will generally show up on 30-second intervals, taking roughly 24 to 27 seconds, from memory, to appear at the door. This was dubbed the 30-second Hero rule and made dealing with him quite easy, especially moving into My Time. Upon completing My Time, I had this rule absolutely ingrained in my head. So imagine my surprise when Hero goes from operating on a 30-second rule to a 20-second rule. This reduces the cycle time from about 90 seconds to at best 60 seconds, thus making a far tighter mode to beat and allowing for even one single slip-up to cause some very easy deaths. Enter here, Headspace Kel. Asshole. Now, Headspace Kel is a funny little fellow. His spawn queue isn't that loud, and at this level is usually overlapped by Sweetheart's spawning sound, who shows up almost always at the exact same time as him. Now in my time, he wasn't actually that bad because his Encore mode buff made him spawn on 3 cameras at once, increasing the chance of bumping into him if we forgot about him pretty easily. Here however, he only spawns on 1 camera, and my muscle memory movement for dealing with him was pretty much destroyed. This ended in quite a few dumb deaths to this grinning smug little shit. Now those of you who have watched my other videos might remember my 3520 544 wall. 7 days with no new PBs because I had a seriously big fluke on my early runs of the mode. So imagine my surprise when I did it again. Now this PB came after about an hour of attempts, and frankly, I was worried. A simple fluster after seeing the time in the night had cost me what was otherwise a completely viable run, being absolutely choked just before the finish line. Shit. Was I doomed to do it again? Was I going to be stuck here for a stupid amount of time? Well, time would only tell. I came back a short time later, after a few days, and picked the game up again to begin retrying 1825. Exam season was upon me, and so my daytime was pretty much slashed entirely and I could only play at night. I sank a few hours into the mode on my first night of playing the mode and proceeded to do absolutely shit. Only 2 runs pushed into the 2-minute ranges, and the rest died well before then. I was playing well out of my prime of the day and was already pretty tired usually before I even got on, which was having a noticeable plague on my performance at times. My days had literally just been study, work, and now I was trying to fit this in too. Day 1 ended without success, and sure enough, the next day was pretty similar. Morning, study. Afternoon, study. Night, study. Night, 25 AI. This went on for about 2 more days, with no runs ever really approaching that 344. Now here, I was truly worried. Was this gonna be 3520 again? Was I gonna be stuck here for another week waiting for a single lucky run to go the distance? Had I cursed myself with an early PB fluke again? Well, on this day, when I booted up 25 AI, I felt the difference immediately. My movement was faster, and my time felt as if it was slowing down around me, and a sudden surge of confidence had overtaken me. The fluster of speed had seemingly just evaporated, and my aiming consistency took over with vast improvement. 2-minute runs were starting to add up before the odd 3, and then suddenly, mass would obey. please tell me I was recording. Let's go! In little over a total playtime of 3 hours or more across 3 days, I toppled 1825, and I could just feel how much faster I'd gotten with the game. So much so that when I saw my first completion of the Headspace Emissary again, I was shocked at just how sloppy I really was playing. Look at this fucking idiot. Can't even remember who stores who while playing the knight. What a dumbass. Funnily enough, I didn't know how far into the night I'd actually gotten when I did my completion run. And for a split second, I thought the win screen was actually the game over screen until my brain consciously ticked over what it was I was looking at. Now that's cool and all, but we've still got a ways to go on taking that first world title, now don't we? Now remember earlier when I said that 2 AI level made going from 23 AI to 25 AI a pretty steep curve? Well, this one was even fucking worse. You can see the difficulty gradient of Headspace Knight as more exponential than it is linear, and so moving up just 1 or 2 degrees of AI can make the mode that much worse, and this here is where you really start to feel that properly. Remember how Hero went from 30-second attack intervals to 20? Yeah, how about 12? 27 AI takes the heat on everything and ramps it up to 11. The speed required now is even higher, and the cycle from before effectively doesn't work anymore, as Pluto just kinda shows up when he wants to. Everyone else is cracked at super speed and have absolutely no chill. You forget anything and you're fucked. Now, as you can imagine, this led to a very steep learning curve off the bat. I knew the mode was going to be tough, but wow, I really was not anticipating such difficulty, especially after beating 25 AI in such a short time. The block on this mode was real, and admittedly, I didn't film much of what was happening at that time because I knew a fluke was not going to happen early. About 2 days went by, and frankly, I hadn't even pushed well into the 2 minutes yet, which was pretty disheartening. After one night of irritations and annoyance on the mode, however, I went back and decided to begin winding down for the night by taking on 25 AI again and going for my second rebeat. I wasn't sure how long it would take me, and so I was pretty content to the fact that my tired brain probably wouldn't be able to keep up with the speed of the mode even after practice, and it's done. In 2 runs no less. Wowza. So I decided to keep going, and to try 26 AI just to say that if I beat it, I'd done something new and technically harder that night, and after about 20 minutes, I'd done it again. So I kept going. Now, 26 AI wasn't that bad, especially after practicing 27 mode, but to me it did feel notably easier. 27 AI was still fucked. But on this night, I found that now I was keeping up with pace better, even better than I had originally earlier on. I proceeded to put in some high-level gaming, and before long, the grind paid off. Wow, would you look at that? I've completed the currently hardest verified mode of the Headspace Emissary on Uncapped AI levels. I posted this accomplishment to YouTube, more just to tease what I've been doing in my absence, though if you're wondering, go read the channel description as I keep mostly up-to-date PBs there and progress updates on videos. The video did fine, I guess. I wasn't expecting anything of it, so that's chill. Now, a little later, I saw a comment on it by a user called Seismic Toad. I actually recognized his PFP from my main video about Headspace Night, and for literally no reason beyond boredom and curiosity, clicked onto his channel where I was met with a truly incredible and dastardly sight. Well, shit. Guess what, fuckos? You thought 28 AI would be the end? Well, apparently not anymore. Seems like we're going to have to do a whole lot more if we're gonna go for that world burst. The goalpost has now shifted from 28 AI to a full extra 3 levels of 30. Better yet, I was aimlessly scrolling the AML Discord and saw that not only was Toad taking on 30 AI, he was actively making some pretty serious progress on it. Well, guess the time is on now. We want to go for a world first. And so with that, the grind continued. With the goalpost shifted and the pressure on to achieve the milestone goal and be the first verifier of 30 AI, I realized I was going to have to lock in. I set in for the grind for 28 AI on the 27th of October and quickly realized that, wow, this mode is even more fucked because of course it is. Why can't anything be easy? So God fucking help me, I'm going to kill. Easy to say, 20 AI proved to be a huge wall. Getting past the first minute was proving significantly problematic, and now I knew that I would need to go as far as 30. With that in mind, I eventually said, fuck it, why don't I just go straight into 30 mode and work my way backwards? So I did just that, and quickly realized what I was in for. 30 AI is truly scuffed. Characters are active the literal instant the night starts, and Hero is now pulling up on 10 seconds. Headspace Hero is also absolutely cooked here. Sure, 27 AI, he was pretty unforgiving, but here he can kill you in literally 10 seconds if you get 2 unlucky move timers back to back while dealing with other threats, which isn't even that uncommon. God, I love RNG. Anyone who's seen my time video will remember that I had some strong words about this guy, and there's a reason he was so high on my difficulty tier list. Now, practice for this mode was stiff, and by watching back the footage I recorded, you can tell that I clearly wasn't having fun with this. Exams and the fatigue of study, plus stress of exams, clearly was starting to get to me by now, and yeah, I was handling it well. One day of runs without success quickly turned to 2, then 2 to 3, and before long it was the 30th of October, and I was no closer to beating 30 AI or even 28 than I was before. Suffice to say, this was a pretty miserable experience. Death after death after death after death. Only win in this period was a rebeat of 27 AI on the 30th of October, after spending so long grinding other modes and failing horribly. Atop this, I was going to have to take a break come tomorrow, as I would be away for a single night. More on this later. So I was really hoping to beat the mode within this window. I went at it, took a breather, then came back and did it again, only to continue failing. Alas, this window was not obviously going to be the time in which I beat it. October 31st rolled around. Hey, that's not a computer. Yep, on this day, I was going to be out of town and on my way to Melbourne. Why, you ask? Well, for this. Now, this concert went hard, and some interesting shenanigans unfolded in the crowd. However, while I enjoyed my breakaway from Headspace Night and study and life in general, Mr. Toad over here was certainly not. He apparently was just getting started. While I was off doing all this, Toad went and did this.
Oh my god!
Now, I didn't see this until about 2 days later, when I happened to be on the AML, and noticed my 25 AI record had been removed. It didn't take a lot of deductive reasoning for me to work out what had happened in my absence, and my reaction to this realization was something like this. Shit. And with that, I've been beaten to the verification, although to be fair, Toad had been going at it for significantly longer than I, and if anyone deserved the win, Toad most certainly did with the time he'd been putting into the game. Good job, Seismic Toad, you deserve the congratulations in verifying such a mode, especially after the pain it put you through from what you wrote in your description. Now, seeing this did give me some mixed feelings. On one hand, my main motivating factor for completing the mode had been removed, but on the other hand, the pressure was now off time-wise to beat it, so perhaps I could go for a second win and try to verify it. And someone's done it. Good job, Hazel here. Mad respect. Well, guess that means we'll be going for third place, if nothing else. And so, that brings us to now. As of right now, my PB in 28 mode is around the 2-minute mark, and on 30, it's about 1 minute. Whenever I do this, there will be a part 2, expect it to come out eventually. This mode is absolutely scuffed, like I said, and I've still got a shitload of exams to survive, so I'm gonna have to drop the mode for a few days in the coming week. Delightful. In the meantime, I made this just to have a project to work on in my little free time that I can spare, as well as experiment with different styles of editing. I'm thinking of doing these intermission videos between my main max mode videos and such, and I don't intend for them to be as long and maybe not all about actual max modes or max mode related games. My hyperfixations extend far and wide. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. And yes, I will be doing SSM eventually. I'm going to get a new computer at some point, so until then, I'm probably not going to start it because I don't want to learn muscle memory with my mouse on one setup and then have to transition it all over to another. I have played a bit of the game though, including all the way up to grind time, so yeah, you'll be seeing some stuff on it eventually.